long before Loki's name became feared, before the Nine Realms knew him as the god of lies. He was simply a child who did not know he was living a lie. He grew up in the golden halls of Asgard, the adopted son of Odin, king of the gods, and Frigga, the gentle queen who loved him dearly. Next to him was his brother, Thor. Strong, brave, beloved. In their youth, they were inseparable. Two princes exploring the vast gardens, training with wooden swords, dreaming of the day they would fight side by side to defend their home. But even then, Loki noticed something. When the people of Asgard cheered, their voices rose for Thor. When Odin praised his sons, the warmth in his eyes burned brightest for the god of thunder. Loki told himself it didn't matter. That one day, he would prove his worth. What he didn't know was that Odin was hiding a secret older than both their lives. Far beyond Asgard's shining gates lay a land of eternal frost, Jotunheim, home of the frost giants, sworn enemies of the gods. In a war long past, Odin had defeated their king, Laufey, and among the frozen ruins, he had found a child. Small, abandoned, born with blue skin and red eyes. A frost giant. Odin had taken that child back to Asgard, not as a trophy, not as a prisoner, but as a tool. His plan was simple: raise the boy as his own. One day, he could use him as a bridge between the realms, a piece in the great game of power. That boy was Loki. The truth was kept from him. Even as he grew older, whispers followed him. Why was the prince not as strong as Thor? Why did the Allfather's gaze always seem colder on him? The doubts festered. Every smile Thor received was a reminder of what Loki lacked. And in the shadow of the golden crown, he began to crave something else. Not love, not approval, but power. Because if he could not be the cherished son of Asgard, then he would be the one they feared. The day Loki learned the truth was the day his heart froze over. It happened deep beneath Odin's palace, in the vaults where treasures of war lay hidden. There, Loki had touched a relic from Jotunheim, the casket of ancient winters. When his fingers met its icy surface, his skin turned blue, the color of the frost giants. He stared at his hands in shock, the truth burning colder than any frost. He was not Asgardian. He was not Odin's son. He was the enemy. When Loki confronted Odin, the Allfather did not deny it. He told Loki of the war, of Laufey, of the child he had taken. He claimed it was mercy. He claimed it was love. But all Loki heard was this: he had been a pawn, an adopted heir never meant to rule, only to serve Odin's plans. The bond he once felt to Thor shattered. Why should he fight beside the Golden Prince when he could be more than his shadow? That night, Loki looked into the mirrors of the palace and saw someone new. Not the boy chasing his father's approval, not the second son of Asgard, but a god who could weave truth into lies and lies into power. He began to scheme. He played the court like a harp, whispering doubts into the ears of the ambitious, turning allies into rivals without lifting a blade. When Thor was set to inherit the throne, Loki saw his chance. With whispers and well-placed chaos, he pushed Thor into reckless action, knowing Odin would banish him. It worked. For a moment, Loki tasted the throne. For a moment, he was king. But his hunger grew. Soon, ruling Asgard was not enough. He would claim the Nine Realms. He would stand above gods and giants alike. If he could not be loved, he would be feared. And so, the God of Mischief became the God of Lies. From that day forward, every smile hit a dagger. Every promise was a snare. And every act of treachery was, in his mind, a step toward the crown that was always denied him. Loki Laufeyson, son of no home, would write his story in betrayal. And the Nine Realms would never forget his name.